Hi, Pocket. Let's talk about Charge Blade. Title Update 2 added a bunch of stuff, and Charge Blade was not left out. This mighty morphing weapon got some tweaks, but nothing more game-changing than this buff, allowing perfect guard on its guard points. This isn't some minor tweak, and it can fundamentally change the way Charge Blade plays, giving this monster masher even more pressure. Now, I'm no Charge Blade master, but here's a super basic crash course on Charge Blade. Sword gathers energy, energy becomes files, files become damage. Anything to help with this process is amazing, but very few buffs help more than Power Axe mode. Power Axe mode greatly increases file efficiency. For League of Legends player, this is like having blue buff. For Dota 2 players, this is your bottle. And for Final Fantasy XIV players, lucid dreaming, I guess. This can be activated in a number of ways. A successful mount finisher or focus strike can activate Power Axe mode, but mounts aren't the most common, especially for Charge Blade, and wounds can be difficult to reach, and they're shared by the team. Thankfully, there's one more method to activate Power Axe mode, with a perfect guard. After perfect guarding, you can go straight into a Savage Axe Slash that, even if it doesn't connect with an enemy, will activate Power Axe mode. Once activated, Power Axe mode will last 2 minutes, or with Power Prolonger 3, 40% more than that, so 168 seconds. Before Title Update 2, the only way to achieve a perfect guard was using the dedicated guard command. Charge Blade does have guard points, which are windows of time during certain attacks where a guard will trigger should the hunter receive an attack, and these can be seen when the hunter's shield glows white when it's in front of them. But before Title Update 2, these could only normal guard attacks. They were still useful, as receiving a guarded attack is much better than an unguarded one, but they didn't allow as easy counterattacking afterwards because of the harsh knockback. It also hurts your stamina a lot more. Title Update 2 changed this, allowing precisely timed guard points to activate a perfect guard, letting the skillful Charge Blade hunter refresh their Savage Axe mode much more often and play way more offensive in the meantime. Let's look at each of these guard points. First, there's the Shield Element Boost. After loading up energy into files, this animation loads those files into the shield. I've landed this one occasionally, but I find it far more difficult than the other guard points. If there isn't any sword energy, indicated by the glowing files, the timing of this becomes very difficult and slow. Additionally, in any context where I'm loading up my shield, I'm not usually under attack. For me, this has been one of the least useful guard points, but still occasionally comes up. Second, there's the Sword Morph Slash. This occurs very quickly at the start of the animation when attempting to morph from sword to axe mode. Originally, I didn't think this one was very useful. The way I was thinking about it is that if you're just standing there waiting to guard something, why not just guard it? Why start morphing into axe, especially if you plan on switching to axe anyway? Why not just time a normal guard instead of risking it for the guard point and potentially getting hit? I thought this was kind of stupid, but then something clicked, and I was very glad to have thought about it and tested a few experiments before jumping to that conclusion. Let's say an enemy is about to attack you, and you pull up your guard. But oops, you guarded too early. The monster's still winding up. You don't really have time to put away your shield and raise it again to go for the perfect guard, and if you try, you'll probably get hit. So what can you do? Well, by going into a Sword Morph Slash from your guard, you will activate the guard point immediately, allowing you to effectively parry in the middle of a held guard in order to trigger a perfect guard. This feels so cool, and it actually has genuine use. I love it. And lastly, and by far the most effective guard point in my opinion, is the Round Slash. There are a number of ways to get to this same attack, but the most useful I found is when morphing out of Axe mode. Axe mode, obviously, is great for offense. high damage, huge attacks, but it lacks the defensive capabilities of sword mode. Unsurprisingly, we're sacrificing the shield in axe mode and swinging it at the end of a long stick at monsters. We lose not only the ability to guard, but some quick mobility from fade slashes and forward slashes to reposition. By switching back to sword mode with the Axe Morph Slash, though it is named Axe Morph Slash, the hunter performs a round slash. Even before Title Update 2, when I was hunting 50 Hirabami and 50 Ajarakan with Charge Blade, I found this guard point to be most useful. It's the quickest way to get to a guard from Axe mode, after all. But now that it can perfect guard, it's even stronger. With Savage Axe Slash, the hunter can go straight back into Axe mode with a strong counterattack, and use this guard point to quickly switch to sword for a guard before bouncing back, ping-ponging into sword mode when it's necessary and swapping back quickly after. This strategy is super fun, and one of my favorite things to do with Charge Blade. Learning to time the round slash from Axe Morph Slash is super rewarding, and I recommend practicing it for any would-be Charge Blader. It lets you stay on the offensive so effectively. Not only does landing a perfect guard help to charge energy into your files, the round slash is very effective at it as well. After performing this quick swap 2 or 3 times, even without focus, I'm usually able to charge my files back up, never needing to go through the hassle of switching to sword and then manually charging all those files up. If the opening is large enough, and this applies to all perfect guards, you don't even need to Savage Axe Slash as the counter. You can go straight into your ultimate attack, the super amped Elemental Discharge. Normally, you have to go through a few lengthy swings at least to set this up, but after a guard, it can just fly right off the cuff. The fact that this can be comboed so effortlessly and quickly after any successful guard is so insane to me. The Shield of Charge Blade is not to be underestimated. This is definitely for bigger openings, but such a quick way to spend those files. Especially when we can help fill them back up with our round slashes and guard points so quickly. Like I said at the start, I'm no Charge Blade master. I currently only have 187 hunts with the weapon equipped in my main slot, and at least 50 of those were with Akuma, so that's kind of cheating. But using these new guard points with perfect guard access has made the weapon feel more fluid and aggressive. I love this change, as it has made Charge Blade even more rewarding in the hands of a hunter who is skillful with their timing. These guard points are far from necessary. I hardly used them when I was first learning the weapon, but they're a great expression of weapon proficiency, and I can't wait to play around with them more now. The evolution of guard points on Charge Blade has me excited for what's to come, and what we'll see over time. What a fantastic change! I highly recommend you try it out for yourself. Landing these guard points isn't easy. It takes a lot of practice to learn the different timings and applications, and beyond that, it takes a familiarity with whatever monster you're fighting, when exactly the hitboxes become active, as well as ranges, etc. If any ingredient is missing, the meal comes out tasting a little like fresh, fleshy death. This is far from the only great, impactful change in Title Update 2. There's lots I haven't tried out. Oh, and I want to talk about the hammer changes too. Holy guacamole, that weapon feels so strong now. I'll have to do that soon. Until then, fellow hunters, thank you for watching, good luck, and goodbye. Also, quick note right at the end, isn't this Charge Blade so beautiful? The new Udra Charge Blade is wonderful.